Kuzangpo and a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week. I'm Sharab Zangmo. Our top stories for this week. Bhutan sends an additional 15-member relief team to Nepal to assist the ongoing relief works in Nepal. The ACC says the government has violated the provisions of the constitution for allowing the import of second-hand electric vehicles. And the dam concreting works at the Mandichu hydropower project in Tonsa has begun. An additional relief team left for Nepal on Tuesday to assist the ongoing relief efforts of the first relief team already in Trishuli.
The 15-member team, comprising of a medical doctor, a surgeon and other health staff, and their subs will be joined by 2 officials from the Department of Disaster Management, including its director. Interacting with the team today, the Cabinet Secretary informed them to be good ambassadors of the country and said they should always be mindful of their purpose of being in Nepal. Following the interaction with the Cabinet Secretary, Prime Minister Swingthopge also met the team. Lynchen said that the team is fortunate to be representing the many aspirations of the Bhutanese wanting to go and help those suffering in Nepal. Lynchen Swingthopge said it is a momentous occasion in the history of Bhutan.
제 아내배 명아들은 무치기 구사배 명아들은 무치기 샤도 배부르 대배 나마 죄음달루 제기 샘카 제코미디 하고고미디 등같이 개갑달루 계랍 젠기 차라 인세 코너데블랍지.
Lynchen also said that the government and the people of Nepal are grateful for the services rendered by Bhutan's relief team. The self-contained team, Lynchen said, has not only eased in carrying out the relief works but also helped the Nepalese people in this hour of need.
mengi tuche menchugi tuche dedilet gara 같이 참배 유비카 dedilet 동소다 dedilet 동소 이 nurse 차우뱀이 가라 같이 참배도 받대 아니 좀기 수통들 관담의 셈이 녀라머기 맛에 코를 모마베라 pen 디기라 토는 세션이.
The Department of Disaster Management's director affirmed full support on behalf of the team and said this will also be an opportunity for the Bhutanese to learn on how to cope with similar disasters.
I would like to say on behalf of the team that we will do our best in Nepal and we would like to thank His Majesty the King for granting us this opportunity. It will also help us to learn more through such assignments.
The 15-member team is scheduled to leave on Tuesday and they are expected to head straight to Trishuli in Nawakot district from where they will be assigned accordingly. Dikichoran Dorji, BBS News.
It has been over a week since the Bhutanese medical team started with the relief works in Trishuli under Nawakot district of Nepal. The Bhutanese team received an overwhelming response from the service. Nawakot district is one of the worst hit districts by the 7.8 magnitude earthquake on 25th April.
Sabina Casey was brought to Bhutan's medical camp with a head injury suffered from a collapsing wall. Just 10 years old, she underwent a major surgery for skull fracture. She was discharged yesterday, 5 days after the medication.
She was airlifted and brought here. Now she is stable and I am hopeful that she will recover soon and nothing will happen to her.
The team so far treated nearly 1,000 people, which included 54 major surgeries. Majority of the cases were bone injuries. Ultrasound and lab facilities are also being provided. A ward has also been set up for critical patients. People who were referred and treated at the camp thanked His Majesty the King and the Bhutanese government for initiating such relief response effort.
I am very happy and would like to express my gratitude to the Bhutanese team. Patients who couldn't walk when they were first admitted here could walk back home after the treatment.
We are lucky, sir.
We are lucky your team is here.
The Bhutanese team had the added advantage of speaking and understanding Nepali, the official language of Nepal.
बाहिरको टिमहरु आयो भने मेडिएटर राख्नुपर्छ उनीहरुले भन्नुपर्ने
When we heard foreign relief aids are coming in, we thought an interpreter would be required to communicate with the patients. But everyone in the team knows Nepali and communication is not a problem. They could cope up with the patients so easily, and we consider ourselves really fortunate to have you all.
थप हामीहरुको लागि त ठूलो भाग्य हो.
On behalf of His Majesty the King, Sera was also distributed to the patients and the affected people in the vicinity. It included relief items like blankets, t-shirts and walking sticks.
We realize the fact that Bhutan is Nepal's one of the closest and most helpful neighbor in the region.
We should learn from Bhutanese team in any disaster like earthquake, how to treat, how to organize, how to maintain everything in regards of immediate response and relief. That I have observed, and that's a very great job from the Ministry of Health and Population. I would like to really thankful to Bhutan government, Bhutan royalties, especially His Majesty King of Bhutan.
On Sunday, Bhutanese team travelled to Kaule and Salme in Nuwakot district and attended to over 400 cases. This week, a larger group will set up temporary medical camps in Thangsing and Sumandar. Compiled for Sonamongdi in Nepal, Ishori Gurung, BBS News.
The Anti-Corruption Commission's annual report 2014 pointed out that the government's order on allowing the import of second-hand electric vehicles has violated the provisions of the Constitution and the rules and procedures for imports from third countries 2001.
On this, Linchen Singh Topke said that the Import Act puts second-hand vehicles as a restricted item and not a prohibited item. He said the cabinet decided to allow its import since it is a restricted item with the condition that only vehicles with no more than 30,000 kilometers be imported.
ACC has also said this is illegal. What do we do given that we take ACC's recommendations very seriously? So at the last cabinet, although all of us weren't there, we decided that since the ACC has recommended this or said that it's illegal, we should reconsider the whole policy. We have decided to reconsider the whole policy. But not because we think it's illegal, only because ACC has said so. Remember, opposition has said so, National Council has said so. We consulted Attorney General's office and we took a decision that it is not illegal. But if ACC feels it is illegal, then we will go with it.
On the same issue, the opposition is demanding that all second-hand electric vehicles imported so far since the violation of the third country import rules and regulations be re-exported. Drukfin Sumsokpa said that continuing to import second-hand electric vehicles would turn Bhutan into a junkyard that will seriously dent the hard-earned reputation as a country committed towards pursuing a clean and green economic development.
The accountant of the Ministry of Information and Communications was terminated from service beginning this month for misusing government money. The ministry managed to recover 3.6 million yutam, the full amount misused by the accountant through fraudulent practices. It was in March this year when the Royal Audit Authority issued 14 audit memos to the ministry amounting to a financial implication of over 7 million yutam. However, the amount dropped to 6.3 million from over 7 million yutam after an exit meeting. The audit issued memos to the ministry after the preliminary reports of the Royal Audit Authority showed some fraudulent practices while reviewing the account and operations of the ministry for the financial years July 2011 till June 2014. During that time, it was the accountant who was responsible in managing the cash. The concreting of the foundation of the dam at the 720-megawatt Mandishu hydroelectric project in Tromsø has begun. This ceremony was graced by the Works and Human Settlement Minister Doji Shodin.
This ceremony marks the beginning of the construction of the dam, with excavation of the riverbed coming to an end. 50% of the work to construct the dam is complete. A crowd of onlookers gathered to be part of another milestone of the project.
Whole dam should be concreted in 2 years' time. But it won't happen in 2 years. It will take a little more because interface activities of hydromechanical will also go along. So that means that there will be some interfacing because of the hydromechanical. It will be 2.5 years. And we are going to place 4.5 lakh cubic meter concrete in the dam. And this we are aiming to do it positively by December 17.
The Works and Human Settlement Minister lauded the work progress of the project.
The progress of Mangdishu project, as I have observed, seen myself and learned, has reached a stage where uncertainties and unknowns will not be much, will be minimum, and the project is running on track and will be on track. During my visit to the project sites yesterday, it was very encouraging to see many Buddhist engineers, not just as employees and not just as support staff, but engineers who were taking charge of the work sites.
We are putting in all efforts to make Mangdishu one of the best projects in the region. And I say this in terms of the cost of construction, be able to construct it with the least cost and be able to construct it at the least time possible. So we are hopeful that it can be done.
The dam concreting works will cost about 2 billion Newton. With this, 55% of the project is now complete. Compiled for Suchaman Thapa, this is Tandon Finso for BBS News.
The Gelifu domestic airport will be open to air traffic by November this year. Since its inauguration in October 2012, domestic flights could not pick up, and it has been over 2 years now without operation. The Minister for Information and Communications, D.N. Dungel, visited the domestic airport yesterday to see the construction of the air traffic control tower. He said all the basic infrastructure will be in place once the construction of tower is complete. The minister also said 2 airlines have agreed to use the domestic airport from November. The government will again take next 7 months to put in place proper security measures and other infrastructure at the airport.
As of now, the airport is not being used fully. We fully understand that, but there were certain problems which had been cited by both TrueCare as well as Tashi Airlines, and we couldn't start the services. But as I said earlier, maybe by November of 2015, means this year, we should be able to have regular flight services here in Gelifu Airport as well.
Last year, the minister had said domestic flights to Gelifu would resume by January this year. The domestic airport still needs a hangar and parking areas. Once flights resume, it just takes 25 minutes from Paro to reach Gelifu, which will cost 7,600 Newton. Today, there are 3 domestic airports, but only one in Bumthang is put in use. Compiled for Purba Taralimbu for BBS News. While the increasing number of vehicles is a concern for some, for insurance companies besides bank, it has become a lucrative business. Insurance companies in the country today are seeing more number of people coming to insure their cars.
The Royal Insurance Corporation's revenue in terms of new premium collection had reached 40 million Ngiltrum between July and December last year. The first 6 months in the same year during the vehicle import ban, it managed to collect only 23 million Ngiltrum. Premium is an annual payment an individual is required to pay while insuring their cars.
I think it's basically because of the imposition of ban on the import of vehicles by the government. So as the figure indicates, from Jan to June, the premium collection was somewhere around 27 million. After July till December 2014, we have collected around almost around 40 million now. So basically, it's all because of the lifting of the ban on the import of vehicles, after which, we saw a rush of cars coming in for insurance.
Motor insurance was a major portfolio that contributed significantly to the company's revenue in 2011 before the ban was imposed. However, during the ban period, its business sank. Today, however, the portfolio is catching up and is soon expected to contribute a significant chunk to the company's revenue. Chief Executive of Bhutan Insurance Limited, Tsering Gelson, said the number of cars being insured has increased rapidly, but it had happened towards the end of last year. The Road Safety and Transport Authority registered over 4,000 vehicles from July 2014 to February 2015. Nyurup Gelson for BBS News.
The restoration work on Wandipota Dzong is in full swing, but people working at the site said the works may be slightly delayed due to various reasons. The work is actually supposed to be complete by 2018.
Some 380 people have been working since early last year, and now we can see the damaged structures taking shape.
The works began in February 2014. As you can see, we have been working on its structures. Almost 80% of the Kunre is complete. Even its structures around the Kunre is progressing well.
The Dzong would be restored to its former glory with age-old traditional architecture intact, but that would take time.
We don't have much problem. There is a shortage of timber, but it is not that serious. Regarding the completion of project, we are trying our best to complete the outer structure on time, though structure inside might be delayed.
But the project is comfortable when it comes to budget.
From the 1 billion Ngutum committed by the Indian government, we received 100 million. Until now, we have used 95 million Ngutum. Even if that additional amount is not released on time, we will be using the donations contributed by the people. So there is no problem for money.
The 400-year-old historic monument was damaged by a fire in June 2012. The Dzong was built by Zhabdrung Ngawang Namgyal in the 17th century. Compiled for Kinzang Tinle, Nyurup Gelson for BBS News.
The Journalism Association of Bhutan conducted an annual Journalism Award 2015 coinciding with the World Press Freedom Day. Journalists from various media houses in the country were awarded in recognition of excellence in journalism in 5 different categories.
The award, which was conducted by the Journalists Association of Bhutan for the first time, aimed at inspiring and motivating the journalists that would culminate in improvement in quality and standard of journalism. Prior to the award ceremony, the Chief Justice urged the members of the media to continuously strive to surpass who they are today as professionals.
Be mindful of your duty to our society. Rely on your emotional intelligence as Bhutanese. Deliver quality information. Courageously publicize the system's shortcomings and failures. All this, though, must be achieved through well-researched and investigated reports with credible evidence.
Quinsel took away most of the awards, including the most prized award, Jimmy Singye Wanchu Prestigious Journalism Award 2015. Rinzin Wanchu, working as Songkha editor in Quinsel, received the prestigious award for his major contribution in journalism for 25 years. He also won the Best Editorial in Songkha, while the Best Editorial for English went to Ugen Penjo from Quinsel. Tenzin Namgyal from Quinsel took away the prize for the Best Investigative Story in Dzongkha, while Tenzin Lamzang from Bhutanese took the award for the Best Investigative Story in English. The Best Feature Story in English was bagged by Jimmy Wangchu from Quinsel, and Nimo Wangdi, also from Quinsel, took the award for the Best Feature Story in Dzongkha. In the television category, Sonam Hamo from BBS was named the winner for the Best TV Documentary. Siring Chodin and Finsu Chodin, both from BBS, for the Best TV Talk Show, and Kingatashi, also from BBS, for the Best TV News Story. For the radio category, all the awards were won by Radio Valley. Namgizam won for the Best Radio Talk Show, Tilepanjo for the Best Radio Documentary, and Kingatin Zintoji for the Best Radio Personality. Chetan Dupchu, PBS News.